Hey, what's good, LBK? Robert Jenkins here with episode 27 of the FocusLBK show. Ain't this beat dope, man? Make you want to flow. It made me want to say, confident and masculine, I steps into the stadium. Eyes wide, time flies, life like palladium. Value in the moments that be fleeting and not facing, and they gone. Just before you reach your goal, they call you back home. Yeah. Anyway, that's a song that is currently in production. I'm currently writing and scribing on it, trying to make it do what it do, but I'm having a real good time. And I'm also very happy to call the LBK home for real. This episode right here is episode 27. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about resilience, street hoops, and world-class music coming to the LBK. But before we get into that, man, what we did this weekend when we were out and about, what I really want to get into first is what's going on. And, you know, I just got an interesting tip from a gentleman named James Major, and he's the owner of M-FFIST. That's Major Firearms Fundamentals, Individual Critical Skills, Safety and Tactics. It's a training academy, essentially. It's right here in the LBK. And he wanted me to let y'all know that they got a firearms training class coming up on Sunday, March 17th. It's actually 2 slots open. And I feel like, man, the Second Amendment is a blessing to all of us who are fortunate enough to live in the good old United States of America. Supposed to say these United States, not the United States, but we've gotten away from that because we are 50 individual states. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into all that. I'm just saying that one of the benefits that we have of being citizens of this great country is that we have the Bill of Rights, which enumerates certain of our God-given rights and abilities in this country. And second among those, listed anyway, are, of course, the right to keep and bear arms. Now, some people ain't down with guns and firearms and stuff like that, and that's cool, because in this country, you have the liberty to be down for pretty much whatever you want to be down with. We are very enthusiastic participants in the firearm sports, and this coming weekend, as I say, James over at M-FFIST is putting on 2 classes. Now, if you go over there, go on and tell them that FocusLBK sent you, and try to get some pics too, because you know what they say, if you don't get pics, it didn't happen. But anyway, on Sunday, March 17th, mfist.org is having the defensive handgun fundamentals at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They're also going to be doing the same day critical skills handgun training 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So again, that's M-FFIST, Major Firearms Fundamentals, Individual Critical Skills, Safety and Tactics Firearms Training coming up Sunday, March 17th. They got 2 slots open. Go check them out, and if you do go, let them know we sent you. But I really encourage y'all to get out there, though, because, like I said, man, all glibness aside, times are getting a little bit interesting. If you pay attention to things, I'm not even going to run over the contents of some of the news that I see. Y'all know I'm retired military intelligence analyst, and it's just a habit of mine to scan the news all day long. And I use a wide variety of proven news sources, people who aren't wrong about almost everything they report. It doesn't do me any good if they are not telling you accurate information. So I eschew or disregard most of the common news sources. And I have a wide variety, a wide palette of different news organizations that I peruse. And when you peruse the news like that, when you keep up with things, it is just getting crazy out there. Especially when you have the border wide open. From what I understand, it looks like Venezuela, for example, may have emptied their prisons out just the same way that Cuba did back in the 80s, when Fidel Castro sent over tens of thousands, or who knows how many Cuban criminals who were previously in prison, and sent them over to the United States. And you know what? That people don't believe things like that happen, but I assure you that it does. And it looks like Venezuela may have just done the same thing, or may be contemplating doing the same thing, making noise towards about doing the same thing, letting their prisoners out and sending them up al norte, as they say, to the north, up here to the great old USA. Well, listen, whoever it is doing crimes, whether they are Venezuelan former prisoners or just homegrown nutballs, crime seems to be increasing, and all across the country it looks like you got all kind of DAs that are just for ideological reasons, they are just letting out people out of jail way early, or not even giving jail sentences or bail to people, just letting them out of jail. These are people who are in many cases really just they are committing some of the most violent crimes and most vile crimes you can think of. And that's one of the reasons we strongly encourage everyone to look into firearms and firearms training. There's a lot of talk nowadays about equity, which is, as I understand it, is equality of outcome, which is something that's impossible to attain. But if you want to look at true equality, making up for any deficiencies that you might have when it comes to facing somebody who is intent on doing you harm. What if they're bigger than you? What if they're stronger than you, younger than you? What if there's more than one? What if you pretty tough, but there's 5 of them? You pretty tough, but you can't take 5 of them. That's one of the type of crimes that's increasing. It seems to be, is from the news sources that I'm looking at. There's all kinds of organized gangs doing breaking through what they call them, home invasions and stuff like that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not Kansas anymore. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I guess it never was Kansas. It's Texas. But nonetheless, y'all know what I'm talking about. We are not in Kansas anymore in the sense of being in a beautiful utopian society where you can just walk around with your head in the clouds. You have to seriously, at this point, I believe, start considering investing in owning firearms. And if you're going to own firearms, please get some training. So anyway, you don't have to go to M-FFIST. I've personally never been to M-FFIST. I do plan to attend some of their classes, check them out. What I'm really interested in is the critical skills, critical care class. Back when I was in the Air Force, I used to teach a class called Self-Aid and Buddy Care, which is basically frontline casualty care that non-medical personnel can perform to stop bleeding, to maintain open airways and treat shock and get somebody from a catastrophic injury on the front lines to an actual trained medical person. And what I would like to do with M-FFIST is take some more of that training if at all possible. But like I say, this weekend, March 17th, they got 2 slots open for a couple of their firearms classes. I talked to James Major, the owner over there, and he was saying that it's his style is kind of depends on the class. If he's got more laid back people, he can be more laid back. If he's got more trained individuals in the class that have a kind of a military mindset, he can flex in that direction. So anyway, it seems like the kind of class where he's trying to make everybody comfortable there. Like I said, if you are considering owning a firearm at some point, or if you already do but you want to pick up some training, maybe check out M-FFIST Firearms. We got everything linked down below, so if you just go down there and click on the actual picture, it'll take you right over to the website. So go on and check that out, man. I've spent a little bit of time here talking about this because man, it's just something that's super important to me. Being able to defend myself and my family from, see what it is, firearms are not, don't think of firearms as weapons. I think of firearms as tools. If your sink is leaking, you need one of them big old red plumber's wrenches. I don't know what you call them, adjustable wrenches, crescent wrenches, whatever. If you got a big cut on your arm, you might need a tourniquet or some kind of bandage. If you out in the woods and it's cold and rainy, you need something to put over yourself and keep yourself warm and some way to start a fire. These are tools. If you wake up one night to a strange noise and hear somebody in your house that ain't supposed to be in there, you need a certain tool for that too. Especially if you're getting older, especially if you're a woman, no, it ain't, you know what? You don't even really have to have any common perceived weaknesses. the simplest way to equalize yourself and your skills and ability and your strength against an attacker is to have a little something up your sleeve, a tool for that, just for that occasion. And these tools are deadly or potentially deadly. So of course we recommend and encourage you to get some of that training. Anyway, moving on down the line. Like, there goes my baby. Was that a Ben E. King, the Drifters? There goes my baby. Moving on down the line. Yeah, we moving on down the line, talking about what's going on here. We see that Patterson Library has an event called Scribblebots. Build Scribblebots with robotic students from Lubbock High School. That's Tuesday, March 12th. That, man, get out to that. That is like in a day. Today is Monday. That's tomorrow. 1 to 3 family activity at the Patterson Branch Library. Also, go to their website and check them out because they are always doing some good stuff. LBK, we have a very unique opportunity to see a very unique voice in Lubbock. It's a world-class tenor. This gentleman's name is Lemmy Pulliam. And Lemmy Pulliam, man, if you take a look at his picture, he's a king-sized brother. A big old, handsome, impressive-looking cat. And what's more important, his voice is world-class. So a couple of weeks ago, I was out at, I think it's called Escondido Grill, out there by the airport, down the street from the airport. And that, man, that is a beautiful location. But I'm out there attending an event with the 100 Black Men of West Texas. And, man, guess who happened to stop by? None other than Lubbock Symphony Orchestra's maestro, David Cho. He came out to apprise us of the fact that Mr. Lemmy Pulliam was indeed coming to Lubbock. Pretty soon, he's going to have a whole show at the Lubbock Symphony Orchestra. It's going to be Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. Doors open at 7, show starts at 7:30. Now, according to Master Cho, when he was enlightening us as to who Mr. Lemmy Pulliam is, he was telling us that this gentleman has a certain type of tenor voice. And I can't remember the word that Maestro Cho used. It was it's a musical term, and it means, it's not stentorian, I don't think. It might have been stentorian. If it was stentorian, maybe it wasn't that musical. Maybe it's not that esoteric of a term. Stentorian, meaning that Mr. Pulliam has a commanding masculine voice. Stentorian. Because the play that he's famous for is Othello. Shakespeare's Othello, you know what I'm saying? But it's the play version of that, I'm imagining. I haven't seen it, but that's what Othello is. And there are very few tenors in the world who actually have that commanding stentorian voice that are able to do any justice to this role of Othello. Othello, I'm sure y'all know, is the Shakespeare's African character. The Moor. He was a Moor, which is a North African. I think he was a black Spaniard, I guess. Anyway, this play is a dramatic reenactment of, I guess, events during Othello's life. But anyway, the point about it is, there's very few people on the planet, according to Maestro Cho, if my memory serves correctly. There's very few people who can actually do this role justice, because you need that stentorian tenor. You need that voice to be able to project. If y'all click right down here in the show notes, you'll see he does have one of them. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about. One of them voices like that. So this gentleman is world class, coming to the LBK. And Maestro Cho briefly related to us also how since he is a large sized brother, and he actually got out of opera and out of entertainment because he was facing some body shaming type issues. And you look at his website, he's a good looking cat. I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? You got to be proud of who you is. If you ain't proud of who you are, I mean, who else gonna be proud of you? I feel like Councilwoman Sheila Patterson Harris when I said that. If you ain't proud of yourself, who else gonna be proud of you? Anyway, they almost made this world-class brother with this world-class voice stop singing. He literally got out of the opera business and the entertainment business for some time. But luckily for us, he's back in it. And he is coming to the LBK. So click on that little green Verdi. It's funny, Verdi I think means green. At least it does. Verde reminds me of it. That's the composer's name, Lubbock Symphony Verdi. And they're going to be doing these Italian composers wrote works that were considered to be staples of operatic repertoire. And so whether you're a long-time opera fan or simply looking for a breathtaking musical experience, this concert promises to be an unforgettable night of music and artistry. It's a selection of Verdi and Puccini arias. I'm not exactly sure what arias are, but I'm going to say they're musical pieces of some sort, and go check them out so you can hear this world-class stentorian tenor, young cat named Lemmy Pulliam, coming to the LBK. Man, all kind of good stuff. You can't say that there's nothing going on in the LBK. Speaking of singing and kind of a different genre, maybe a little bit more your style, if the opera's not for you, they got a jazzy duo from New York City called Acute Inflections, and they are coming to the Centerpoint Event Center in the LBK on Thursday, April 25th. I feel like me and lovely wife gonna get out to this event. I don't know. We're gonna be at that Verdi event too. It's gonna be a busy next couple of months, but it looked like this Acute Inflections jazzy duo from New York City looked like they have a live show playing the bass, and she looking like Billie Holiday sitting up there singing. Got a cool looking brother on the bass, and they doing their thing, and it looks like they also engage with the audience quite a bit, a little bit of call and response, a little bit of comedic banter back and forth. Looks like a pretty interesting event. The price is pretty right. It's not too high. Jazzy duo from New York City, Acute Inflections, coming to Centerpoint Event Center in LBK on Thursday, April 25th. Lubbock, that is, I guess that is about all we want to highlight for what's going on, and that's plenty. That's 4 or 5 good things that I think that we just talked about, and all of it belies the fact that people say, oh, ain't nothing going on in Lubbock. Boy, we got everything from opera to jazz to shooting to anything you can think of. So get on out there, y'all. Take advantage of it. Go see it. Go do it. And let us know how it was when you get done. Shoot us a comment down there. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we're going to move on down the line once again, and we're going to phase gently into the out and about section. Now, this past weekend, that was the March 9th, actually, to be actual and factual. We had the chance to attend 2 outstanding events. That's what I like about the LBK, man. You just don't really have to look too far and go too far to go to things that are just, oh man, that are just meaningful, full of heart, full of good intentions, and full of good family fun too. You know what I'm saying? And 2 of those events that we went to this 9th of March, 2024, was the Hub City Street Hoops versus First Responders playoff game, and we also got a chance to attend the Building Resilience Summit Series, Resiliency and Mental Wellness Seminar. And that was put on by Mr. Ricky Gaines and his team over at the Returning Citizens Association. Anyway, let's tell you a little bit about it, man. First of all, it was one of them days where we was Saturday. You know, you kind of want to, when you first wake up early in the morning on a Saturday, sometimes I feel like I just want to wallow for a minute. I ain't ashamed to say that neither, because I think y'all can identify with me on that, man. You just want to wallow. Saturday, boy, I've been working hard. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I think I just want to. But you know what? I'm glad we got up and got it moving. We had to do like Goody Mob and get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. So we went out there to that Hub City Street Hoops event, and that thing, we got an article on it. Down here in the show notes, you can click on the link and go peep out the article. We got some really good pics. Talked to Mr. Ledette Butler, the gentleman that does this Hub City Street Hoops talked to a couple of the police officers that was out there, and man, it was just, boy, it felt good to be out there. It was a cool, crisp morning. They had a few vendors out there. They had a food truck ready to go in the parking lot. They had some pizzas coming. We unfortunately had to jet out before the pizzas got there, but I think I heard Ledette Butler say something like he had 20 or 40 pizzas or something coming. I say, woo wee. But what was so good about it though is it was just earnest, good fun, man. It was just because, I framed up in the article, it's kind of like, we all know some of the issues that we sometimes have between police and black men, young black men, young black teenagers, males. We all know the horror stories. We all know the bad stuff that can happen, but this was the opposite of that. This was highlighting how good stuff can happen. And it was just a special event, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man. Some of them laws out there, they could ball. They was balling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I say, all right, okay. I see you, Johnny Law over there busting like 3 points and stuff, doing all kind of smooth groove. But then again, the boys in the hood, if that's what you want to call them, they was coming with the heat too. Now I ain't gonna lie, when I was there, it looked like the cops was up as far as winning, but hey, it was all in good fun. And I really hope that there was a sense of camaraderie and some mutual respect that was earned and given while these two teams of young, strong, fearless gladiators to wax very elegantly over. Anyway, see, I'm trying too hard. When you're trying too hard, that's what happened. Your words stop flowing, man. You gotta. Anyway, these two teams out there, man, they was really going at it. They was serious too. They was balling. All of them was balling, and they was having fun. And it was all in good spirits. Everybody was in high spirits. It was a lot of high fives and fist bumps and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Handshakes and stuff like that. A lot of laughter. All you saw was cool young brothers on both sides, hooping together and trying to see who could come out on top. And it was just such a man, just an inspirational event. And when I was talking to Mr. Butler, the gentleman that arranges this, and I guess you could say it's his brainchild, he was telling me, man, like the whole point, yes, it is to get them out there on a court where things are not so serious, so they can see each other as human beings and maybe not so much as adversaries or the enemy or anything like that. So yeah, it was just, oh man, it's a real good time. Real, Betty Wright said, real good time. Mm-hmm. Tonight is the night. Y'all remember that? Yeah, some of y'all don't remember that. I think some of y'all too young out there. But anyway, some of y'all probably do. Tonight is the night is a real good time out at this Hub City Street Hoops versus First Responders playoff game. Now, we had to leave that game after about 30, 45 minutes because we had to go and be at another event. We was covering the Building Resilience Summit Series, Resiliency and Mental Wellness Seminar. This took place at 1:30 over at Patterson Library in the community room. And we were there. We got a chance to see all the people that came out. It was hosted by Scotty Scott and his wife, Lisa Scott. They had on the speakers roster, they had Dr. Janice Henderson, PhD. She's a resilience teacher. Matter of fact, that's her business, is teaching resiliency. Had, of course, Adam Hernandez, mayoral candidate, and Mr. Scotty Scott himself was the third in the series of speakers. It was just a real good time, man. You talking about some heartfelt, open, honest, raw stories that came out. You would never believe, if you don't know somebody's story, these three individuals that were speaking, if you don't know their story, man, you would just be blown away to hear them talk about it. Scotty Scott he talked about how he used to he was living that street life on the streets of the LBK back in the 90s and been to the prison several times. Just blunt about it. Just let you know, man, it's not worth it, and how he got away from it. Yeah, Janice Henderson talking about growing up in small towns with various forms of oppression that seem to float around and influence her and trying to overcome certain things and finding her outlet through education. And then Adam Hernandez, mayoral candidate. I did not know this about the gentleman, but he has an almost unbelievable backstory. Y'all know I did that little poem called Backstory, and look over there to the left on my homepage. I think you'll see it. But his backstory, his history, his personal history, Adam Hernandez, it was just, I did not know, man. And if you don't know, when you hear it, you're like, really? What? Huh? How are you here today? How are you? Wow. I'm videotaping the thing. I'm back there capturing it, but I'm listening. I'm so engrossed to listening to him and the other speakers. I'm almost forgetting to do my job at times. You know what I'm saying? That's how amazing it was. So I give a serious hats off and a tip of the hat to Ricky Gaines or Richard Gaines. Always sharp dressed brother with the suit and the hat. You see him at all these events. You know what I'm saying? I give him a serious shout out, a serious tip of the hat, a serious, just a whatever kind of sign of respect you can think of. Because, first of all, I like how he's framing his situation and his own story and the stories of these individuals that are coming out of doing time in jail and in prison. He's framing the terminology around them, claiming the high ground. First of all, it's kind of like shaping the battlefield using words, because he don't call them ex-cons or ex-felons or ex-this. He calls them returning citizens. That in itself is dope. I don't know if he came up with that phrase or was it somebody in his larger organization, the Returning Citizens Association.org. I don't know if somebody else came up with it or he came up with it, but it's brilliant. And it shows a deep understanding of some of the problems that these returning citizens face, because they come out facing all of these negative labels and preconceptions. But if you went to this show, I call it a show. If you went to this summit series over there at Patterson, you would know that, man, these individuals have all used resilience, the tools of resiliency, to overcome amazing stories of trials and tribulations. I was just blown away, and it was just so inspirational, really, to see him up there. As Scotty Scott said at one point, it's a trip for him to be a returning citizen and to find himself up here surrounded by and talking on the same program with a PhD and a mayoral candidate. See, that's what resilience helps you do. I used to teach resilience when I was in the Air Force many years ago now, and I haven't even thought about this in a while, but I think I was something like the wing resiliency coordinator or something like that. My whole job was to train a team of instructors and manage a team of instructors, and we could do resilience building events and exercises with our Air Force squadron mates. And so I think that's why this subconsciously kind of caught my eye, captured my interest, is because I have a background myself in messing around trying to teach resilience. But these guys, man, they take it to another level. I really am just proud of the way the Returning Citizens Association.org is handling a business out there in the community, man. And I also admire that brother Ricky Gaines. I admire his hustle and his spirit too. So just just an awesome out and about weekend this past Saturday, March 9th. That resilience video, I don't know if there is a video of the whole seminar. Now, I don't know if Richard Gaines and his team are going to make that available to the public, but check out their website and see if they actually put it out there or put out some clips or something like that. It's a real, just an amazing thing, and I'm glad we went to it, and I'm glad that they out there doing what they are doing, trying to help all of our returning citizens. It's a worthy effort. And that event was sponsored by several organizations, including the 100 Black Men. Looks like Vexus. Oh man, these I can't see these. I'm getting old, y'all. I can't see these little logos on here. But you can go to their website. I'm sure they'll tell more about it. But you know, it's some of the same names you see over and over again. And of course, that tells you and tells us everything we need to know about those organizations. Being involved with worthy causes, supporting worthy causes. Yeah. So I guess that's one of the things we like about LBK, and we love it and just enjoying, is the fact that we get to go out there and be out and about in the community, just being a fly on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Taking our little old pictures and doing our little old videos and stuff, and just drawing attention to all of the cool stuff that's happening in the LBK. Well, LBK, I'm not gonna bend your ear too much longer. I know y'all got things to do, but I did want to help you get this weekend, or I'm sorry, get your week started off right, with some positive news out there that's going on in the LBK. There's a lot of good things coming up. You got all kind of musical events. You got all kind of training events. For your personal edification. You got the library, as always, active and stuff. Everything is coming to the LBK, or will come to the LBK at some point, if you just be patient and keep checking that out. Keep looking around. Keep tuning in to the Focus LBK show, because as soon as we hear about something, you know, we're gonna bring it up too. Also, we got this week coming up, man. We got another good article that's going to be posted, and it's by Mr. Kenyon Andrews. After that, I got another good article coming out. We're going to be talking about bootstraps and such. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about everybody ain't got no boots to pull them up by the bootstraps. Well, let's talk about what bootstraps really mean. That's going to be coming up later in the week, or maybe next week. But before that, we'll have a dope article by Mr. Kenyon Andrews. Y'all stay tuned for that, and keep it locked right here at the FocusLBK.show, or the Focus LBK show on Apple Podcasts. Thanks again, Lubbock, and man, y'all have a great week. The weather is turning. It's getting windy, but it's getting warmer. Y'all get out there and enjoy life, LBK. All right then, peace.